What is placebo effect? Placebo effect, also known as placebo response. It is a fake treatment, an inactive substance like sugar, distilled water, or saline solution. Medically inofficial treatment for disease or medicine that may or not provide a cure. It also plays a physiological role which speed up pulse rate, increase blood pressure, and improve reaction speeds. The placebo effect can also be used in place of medical treatment on extreme cases. A band-aid can be one of example because it could provide relief from pain even though no medical relief of such is provided. Inactive, look-alike, treatment or substance, which means it's not a medicine. Sometimes a person can get a response from a placebo and it can be positive or negative. It can be improve their condition or there may be side effects from the treatment. These responses are known as the placebo effect. Researchers are trying to focus on the relationship of mind and body, and most common theories is that the placebo effect is due to a person's expectation. Researchers said there is a relationship between how strongly a person is expect to have results and whether or not results occur. Example, stronger feeling is positive effects. There are some physical effects such as body's production of endorphins or the placebo effect, which the expectation doesn't make it imaginary or artificial. Problem with placebo effects are hard to distinguish from the actual effects of a real drug during a study. One example would be placebo drunkenness. It is often remarked that women have it easy because of their comparative ability to become inebriated with the help of less alcohol than men. Researchers have found that those who believe that they have been drinking vodka, which was actually simply tonic water and lime, had impaired judgment. They did worse on simple tests and their IQ became lower. Example 2 is placebo surgeries. Results have shown that fake surgeries can be just as effective as the real thing. Imagine that after the doctor's checkup a month later, you are told that they hadn't actually operated on anything during the surgery, just sedated, so you would believe that actual procedure had taken place.
The difference between placebo and nocebo effect is that the placebo has a positive impact on us, which as nocebo has a negative effect. Is it all in your head? One theory behind the placebo effect is the subject expectancy effect. When people already know what the result of taking a pill is supposed to be, they usually change their reaction about the result, or simply report that the result as the outcome even if it wasn't. Others believe that people who experience the placebo effect have become classically conditioned to expect relief when they take medication. If the placebo performs better than the drug, does it really mean that the drug is effective? An active drug is not better than the placebo. In a standard trial, even when we can be confident that the active drug does work, in one placebo-controlled trial, the drug performed better than the placebo, so ordinary research would say that the drug, such as painkillers, is effective.
Hey, yo, TJ! It worked! Look, I got an 80 on my social studies test, an 80! And I owe it all to you and your little wonder pills. Hug me, you genius, you!
Can't breathe!
Man, it was just like you said. It made studying easy. As soon as I popped the pills, my powers of concentration were amazing. Chemistry made sense. I could remember all the dates in history. And I think I'm starting to understand birds.
You mean like chirp, chirp, tweet, tweet, tweet?
Hey, watch your mouth. See, that's why I need the pills. You gave me a taste of brilliance and now you're just gonna take it away?
You don't need the pills. You proved you can be a good student all by yourself.
See, that's where you're wrong. Those pills made me what I am. Now well, I'd know if I was still taking the pills. I hope you can sleep at night.
Oh, your test. In 86? Oh, that's great. See, I told you could do it without the pills.
No, I'm still taking the pills.
But I didn't give you any.
I know. I made my own. See, I got some capsules, filled them up with sugar, down the hatch, and voila, in 86, baby.
You do realize they have absolutely no effect on your brain.
I know no such thing.
They're just sugar.
Not listening.
A study conducted by Dr. Peter Hewitt and company at the Henry Ford West Bloomingfield Hospital was set out to find a better understanding of the placebo effect by undergoing a study on patients with Parkinson's disease. The placebo effect has been relied on in various stages, including serious illnesses and disorders. In this article, patients are affected by Parkinson's disease and have been put under placebos of two types, a lesser expensive treatment and a more costly one. The placebo effect was relied on to provide results on how effective each one of the placebos were. The results shown in the study gave doctors and researchers a small sample of how patients are affected with reduction in symptoms presented by the patients. The placebo fallacy was used in determination of how extensive symptoms could be reduced through the brain's ability to release the chemical of dopamine. Larger amounts of chemicals were released in the subject's anticipation of reward from relief of symptoms. Expensive treatments were found to provide more relief from symptoms, and they continued to work as long as the patients believed in the treatment. MRIs conducted during the study resulted in different brain activity depending on which placebo was given, the lesser expensive or the more expensive.
Implications of the placebo effect.
In this article, the placebo effect and Parkinson's disease is used in relation to each other to identify whether or not a drug is really used to minimize the end result of a disease. Looking at how the placebo effect worked on Parkinson's disease in reducing its symptom harshness, it makes you think about whether or not any disease can be improved without actual drug-based medication. The overall implications of the previous article was that the more a drug seemed to cost, the more effective it will be in a given situation. This idea comes from the power of positive thinking. The more that you believe something will happen, the more likely it is to occur.
Yes, the theory behind the placebo effect does convince the readers or participants of a situation that has a possibility of being true, which also comes from the power of positive thinking. Without using the drug, all symptoms in all three experimental cases, weak placebo, strong placebo, actual medication prescribed being levodopa, would be still in effect. The fallacy proved to give the story more strength due to the study results showing the patient's improvements from the disease. The implications of this fallacy provided a reduced severity of symptoms because the brain anticipated the idea of being free of said symptoms, therefore giving the body a higher release of dopamine.